Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mr. Cook, and today for Chapter 2, Lesson 8, we are going to be subtracting from 4 and 5. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a problem of the day, and we're going to figure out how many more giraffes we have than our lions right here. Now, the one thing that we've learned is that when we say how many more, we always think of addition, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this with subtraction. Because first we have to figure out how many giraffes we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we need to figure out how many more giraffes we have than lions. But let's take a look here. We put the number 6 right here. We're actually going to subtract the amount of lions that we have. So I have 1 and 2. And if I were to do that, I have 6, take away 2. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I take 2 away, I am left with 4. 4 more giraffes than lions. Now that's going to be a little tricky to think because when we always heard the word more, we always want to think addition. But when we're trying to compare two numbers together, trying to figure out how many more one is than the other, you got to think subtraction. But the next thing that we're going to do is we have to think of how many animals are all together. I want you guys to think about that for a second. How many do you guys have all together? Are we going to do addition or subtraction? And if you say addition, you're right. When we say all together, we want to do all of them. So let's just count them here. So I know that I have 6 giraffes. I'm going to be adding 2 lions. And that just means I have to count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 plus 2 equals 8. So that's going to be a little different way of thinking this out. So we're going to check on that real quick to see if you guys understand what this is going to be. So there were 8 bluebirds and 6 redbirds in a tree. How many more bluebirds than redbirds were in that tree? So even though we're saying more, we're still going to think of subtraction here on the bottom. Another way that you can do this is you can check and line up the circles like I have right here. So you can notice that all of my blue and my red are matching up, and you can see that I have these 2 more than the red on the bottom. But the way that we're going to do that with our subtraction problem is 8 minus 6 equals 2 to figure out that problem right there. Same thing. If you have 4 yellow fish and 3 purple fish that are in a tank, you're going to say how many more yellow fish are there than the purple fish? Again, you're going to look at your yellow fish because you have more of those. And even though you're saying more, you were doing subtraction. So we've got 4 yellow fish, 3 purple. So you're going to do 4 minus 3. And you can see that there's 1 more yellow fish than there is the purple fish. Alright, so for today, boys and girls, this is what you're going to be working on. You're going to be subtracting from 4 and 5. 2 numbers, 4 and 5, that we're going to be working on. We're going to be building our way up to 10, but pretty straightforward. Start with the number 4, and you're going to be taking 2 away at this point. So you're going to be building these numbers today. So you have the number 4 up top, and then when you take 2 away, you are left with 2. So the difference that we have is 2 on this one. Now on the bottom, when you're working with the number 5, you're going to see that you have 5 altogether. You're going to take away 1, and you're left with 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 right there. Awesome. Now, for our subtraction here, I'm going to show you guys how to do these ones and how to figure out how to find all of the problems by working with and subtracting from the number 4. So you have all 4 of your unifix cubes right here. The first problem, number 1, is going to be right here. You can see that we had 4 altogether, and we took 1 away. And then we're left with 1, 2, and 3. Now the strategy for this is to now take that 1 away on the next one, but just do 1 more. So how many did I take away on that one? And you have 2. And how many are left? 2. So if I did 1 on the first one, 2 on the second one, How many do you think I should do on number 3 right here? If you said 3, you are right. So I take away 3. I'm left with 1. So if I did 1, if I took away 2, if I took away 3, how many should I do on the bottom? That's right, you should do 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 minus 4, and we did this the other day, is when you're taking away all. So 4 minus 4 is going to be 0. Now the last thing that we're going to do here today, boys and girls, is actually show you guys how to work with and subtract with the number 5. I want you guys to take a look at this in class. You guys can pause right now and work with this as a group. For you guys at home, let's do a couple of them, and you guys can do them at home as well. So you're going to be subtracting from 5. So the first one, remember, we want to always start with number 1. We want to take 1 away and work our way from there. So if I do the first one, taking away 1, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one, I'm going to take away 2. I'm left with 1, 2, 3. Now we do this, boys and girls, in this order so that we can try to find every single problem. Now for my kids at home, you guys are good to go. You can start working on the math pages that we assigned online. For my kids in school, this is what you're going to work on today. You're still working with horizontal and vertical subtraction. So what you're going to do today is we already made the dominoes up for you. The big thing is you have to take a look at this left side here. You have 4, and you're going to be taking away the other side. So you're taking away 1, and you're going to solve that for me right now. You guys can draw a picture and work on those ones. But the big thing that you guys have to realize is that you're always starting with the number 4 today. Because if you flip-flop these and start with the number 1, you're going to say 1 minus 4, and that wouldn't make any sense because you can't take 4 away from 1. So I want you guys to draw the picture. I'm not going to give you the answer for this one. Maybe you can do that in class together. But this next one is going to be the same thing, vertical subtraction. So you're going to start with 4, and you're going to take away 1, and that equals the one you can do in class. All right, boys and girls, good luck and have some fun today.